Yeah, it is a beautiful day here at Marvel Athletics. As you can see, got the door open. I'm gonna hit shoulders today. I just wanted to say I'm sorry for not uploading consistently over these last couple days. I was sick. I'm just kind of getting my voice back right now. And so now that I kind of have my voice back, I can do some voiceovers. So I'm gonna hit delts today, and I'll do a voiceover for you and explain what I'm doing. And then most likely I'm gonna start writing the workouts down in the description. So then as I'm explaining them, you also know how many sets I did and all that good stuff. So be looking for those down in the description. Yeah, definitely changed my mind today. I'm going to do back. My shoulders are still a little bit tight, shoulders and neck. So I'm going to start off with pull-ups. A lot of the times I do like a bunch of different variations of pull-ups, but today I'm just doing wide grip overhand pull-ups. So I'm going a little bit wider than normal. And then I'm also pressing my feet back and pushing my head back. As you can see right here, and then trying to keep the bar like really close, so it's just I'm moving in a line. This puts a lot more stress on my back, a lot more pressure on my back than not even paying attention and just trying to pull. So I'm pulling the bar down towards my chest, and then I'm pressing my wrists behind me. Next movement I did was a bent row. And so here I'm trying to get my torso parallel with the ground, maybe just tilt it a little bit up. And then I'm focusing on protraction and retraction. So you see my shoulder blades come apart and then squeeze together. So I'm getting a good stretch in the muscle and a good contraction in the muscle. Also, when I pull back, I'm imagining I'm touching my elbows behind my back, so I'm keeping my elbows really close to my body and I'm not letting them flare way out. My next movement is a neutral grip dumbbell row, and this is a version of a seal row. Usually I put a flat bench up on boxes and I do a barbell seal row, sometimes overhand, sometimes underhand, but I really enjoy this movement because it sits me up just a little bit more. And so I can really hit the traps and rhomboid type just a little bit more. So I'm really focusing on squeezing more so up by the neck and trying to get a little bit more thickness to my back, squeezing those shoulder blades back and actually squeezing the traps a little bit. And this one I can feel all the way up into my neck. Now this one is going to be a little bit different if you pull towards your hips or towards your armpits. You're going to feel it a little bit different. So in this one, in that seal version of a seal row, that neutral grip row, I was kind of pulling a little bit towards my hips, but still working on thickness. So we're doing back and bis. So obviously I'm going to hit some alternating curls. For these, I'm kind of more focusing on going a little bit heavy. I think I got over 8 per arm. And then really tucking my elbow into my side, and as always keeping the scapula retracted, so I'm pulling my shoulders back. I'm keeping my shoulder blades squeezed together. Now if your shoulders start to come forward at all, you're going to notice that you don't get a very good contraction in the bicep. So I try and keep my shoulders pinned back, and I get a really good contraction in the bicep because that bicep tendon goes up and connects it up in your shoulder more so. And then I go into a bent fly. So here again I'm focusing on kind of that protraction retraction, stretching those lower traps out in between the shoulder blades, stretching it all out, and then squeezing it at the top. Now if you weren't focused on that, you're going to be more so hitting your delts. And then also the dumbbells are in a neutral grip, which that helps me hit that back a little bit more. If they were like an overhand grip, it'd be hitting the delts a little bit more. So I keep it in that neutral grip. All right, back to biceps. We're going to work a different head of the biceps. So we're doing overhands, and this is going to hit the brachialis too. So there's a couple points where I want to hit. First one is range of motion. I see a lot of people when they do overhand curls like this, their range of motion, they're just going to like a 90 degree at the elbow. You want to bring it all the way and squeeze that bicep. Keep the tension on the bicep, so don't let the elbows go in front of the wrist, but you want to bring it all the way up and squeeze the bicep. So your forearm should be pressing up against the bicep. All right, then the next point I want to make is, again, pinning those shoulder blades together. Bring the shoulders back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together as you're doing this movement. You're going to feel a way better stretch and contraction in the bicep. And then when you're doing this, squeeze your elbows into your sides too. So you don't see a whole lot of forward-backward elbow movement or forward-backward shoulder movement. And that's what you want. You want to squeeze the shoulder blades together as you run through this. And then last thing, these wrists. So I'm not curling my wrists under or over. So if your wrists are going to start tucking under when you're doing these, you're going to hit your delts a little bit because your elbows are going to flare out. And then at the top, if you're coming over with your wrists, you're going to be taking the time under tension off your bicep. So you really want to keep that on there. So today for training, I did back and buys. I just want to talk a little bit about like leg and body parts and performance workouts and stuff. So I still do performance workouts. I still do like cleans. I still do like kipping pull-ups, muscle-ups, that kind of stuff. I do them in my metabolic conditioning, so my cardio. And then also I do some of that stuff for just pure strength because I want both muscular strength, muscular endurance, and look. So I still do hypertrophy work, I still do strength work, I still do metabolic conditioning because I want to stay lean. So it's the best of every world pretty much. But when we're talking about leg and body parts, so bringing a body part up, we want to have a couple of things here. You want to have the 4 parts of a muscle movement. So you want to have the stretch, the concentric movement, the contraction, the eccentric movement, and then back to the stretch. Also, you want time under tension. So when you're going for bringing up a lagging body part, something that's not really strong or something that's not really working, it's not about the swinging and jerking, it's making the muscle working. So you want to actually feel that muscle, you want to feel it out and kind of listen to your body. So say your biceps are a lagging body part. Even if you do performance stuff like cleans and all that stuff, deadlifting, and your mostly cleans, pull-ups, and all that. So if your biceps lagging and you want to bring that part up, it's all about the time under tension and those 4 muscle parts, parts of the movement. So you don't want to take one of those out and just, swing it up and then take the tension off the muscle, because then you would be missing out on time under tension and you would be missing out on that concentric motion. And then you don't just want to drop the weight from the top, because then you're also missing out on part of that muscle movement. So when you're looking at bringing that body part up, keep that in mind. Whether it's delts, you're doing cleans, you can't get your elbows high enough, so you want to do like some high pulls or upright rows, or you want to grab some dumbbells and do some side laterals just to get that one lagging part up, so then your clean is better. Say you want your deadlifts to be better and your hamstrings are lagging, so you want to do stiff leg deadlifts, or you want to do some like leg curls on the GHD, or whatever it is. You can take this into anything. If your double unders or your jump ropes or your running is bad because you're getting shin splints, maybe you should do some calf raises or something like that. But make sure that you're going through these parts of the muscle movement, and you're also keeping that time under tension when you're trying to bring up these lagging body parts. It's not just lagging body parts when it's for looks. It can still be lagging body parts when you're going for performance too. So figure out where those muscle imbalances are, bring them up, try this time under tension, this cellular stimulation to try and bring those up. Do that for a little while at the end of your workouts. Go back to that movement and see how much it changes. See how much easier it is. You might have to redo maybe a little bit of a motor recruitment pattern, but bringing up lagging body parts is going to benefit you extremely when it comes to performance and not just looks. So try that tip. This is going to conclude my video here, or conclude my vlog or whatever. So if you like it, subscribe, share, and if you have any questions, just comment.